So today I'm really excited. I'm going to show you my content marketing workflow with SEO research. So I do my content marketing and content planning in Notion, and that's where I have my content board. Those are the articles that I plan to do, and I track with freelance writers where we are in the process. There are a lot of people participating. Usually there's a writer, an editor, a designer, and the person who uploads the articles on the web. But all of this starts with SEO research. You want to understand what people are looking for so that you can communicate this information to the rest of the team. The problem is, if you use amazing tools like Ahrefs, you know that you will still need to download all of the information from there for a particular article and share it with writers. Unfortunately, the only way to do it is to download it as a CSV and then upload the file to, say, Google Sheets. And then you have so many CSVs and so many Google Sheets for every single article you're creating, it's really hard to keep the bigger strategy in mind. Here is how I do this in Notion with one click. So right here in front of me, I have Ahrefs opened up. That's where I do my keyword research, and I share the keywords to a list. Here I have 12 keywords for a specific article. I just recorded a video on creating full-size screenshots. So these are the keywords, and here is a database in Notion that I have. It is pretty much a spreadsheet with the same information, but the cool thing about this is that you can see a related article. So let's open my content dashboard for blog writing, and here I have my article ideas. Pretty much when the article is ready, then an SEO does an article outlining, then you have drafting stages, editing stages, then enriching content and uploading. So multiple people work on that. The thing is, I want to see how many keywords a specific article has a potential to hit and what the total volume of traffic is. That's this number. So when I look at articles, I have the information right there and I do not need to do pretty much any work. So when you click on a particular article, you will see the person who's writing the article, etc. And here you have the related keywords with the keyword difficulty and the global volume for that keyword. And the problem is, how do you get information from this list on Ahrefs with the freshest information to this database in Notion and then link it back to the content database? And here is how I do it. I'm going to right click and use our own automation tool to do this. Here I have the Ahrefs Automation, and it's going to capture all of this information right there, and it's going to add the data over here. It was that easy. It took me one click, and whatever is on this list, on any list, I can get, for example, these keywords synced to our database in Notion. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add this to an article. I don't have one yet, but I'm going to call it full-size screenshot. And then that's going to be a new blog post in our content database. I'm going to edit for every keyword, just like this. And then I'm going to open this page, and instead of an idea, which is the status that we see by default, I'm going to make it ready. And it's ready because I've done the keyword research already. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just outline the article, and I'm going to essentially outline the article with the main headings for each section. And I'm going to provide suggested automations, things that I want the article to link to, and all that good stuff. And just like this, I have all of the information stored in one database in Notion. Writers see exactly which keywords they need, and it only took me one right click to get the information transferred from Ahrefs to Notion. So at this point, you're probably thinking that I'm some sort of a computer magician. And the truth is that it's a lot easier to create a workflow just like this one yourself. It took me probably around 2 minutes to create it. So let me show you what's inside. So the first action that I'm using, it actually scrapes the information from here, and it scrapes specific fields I'm interested in. And then the second action, it adds that information to Notion. So the traditional way would be to export information like this, and then I would need to clean up the sheet and then go to Notion and merge a database with a CSV. I tried doing it, super manual workflow, and then I thought it would actually not make sense to do. But then I thought, hey, I can use Bardeen to make this thing happen. So what I do is the following. I'm going to open the Chrome extension. You're going to have a link to that in the description of the video below. And I'm going to click on Create Playbook. So as you saw, when I right click on the page, it's going to essentially perform an action. So that's a trigger. It's called right click, and then it's going to show an option in the menu. I'm going to call it Demo Ahrefs. Okay, and it's going to be visible everywhere. I'm going to hit done, and there we have our trigger. So when I right click on the page, I'll see this option. And then here comes an action. The action is to scrape information. Scraping just extracts information from specific areas on the website. So I'm going to scrape information on the currently open tab, and I'm going to create a new scraper template. Here I have mine created. Let's choose the list scraper because we have a list of rows that we want to extract as opposed to like one element on the page. So I'm going to click on list and I'm going to call it Demo Ahrefs. That's our scraper template. And now you need to click on two similar elements so that we know which list we want to extract. As you can see, there are a lot of different lists on this page. So I want to extract this list, same element into different list items. And now I will do infinite scroll because that's how information gets loaded on the page. And finally, I'm going to pick the information I want to capture. So I want to get the keyword, then I want to get the keyword difficulty, volume, GV, and then you can get some additional information. I'm not really interested in that for my goals, but here we have the preview of the spreadsheet. 12 were collected. So I'm going to hit Save Template, and that's how you created a template to scrape lists from Ahrefs. You can run it on pretty much any list. So from there, the last action is going to add this information to Notion. You can also add this information directly to Sheets. So here we have create Notion page in a database. I have SEO keywords. That's the name of my database. And I'm going to hit compose table and then map the data from the scraper action to this action. So I have the keyword action over here. So keyword, then we have volume like this, keyword difficulty like that, and we had global volume over here. So global volume, GV, save it. I'm going to hit done and save the automation, call it Demo Ahrefs. Okay, enable this playbook so that the option actually shows. And let's go to another list. For example, here I have startups. I'm going to right click, and here I have Demo Ahrefs option. So it's going to capture this list. And now let's go to our Notion page over here and watch the magic happen. So here I have in the show all new keywords. I'm sorting by the date added, so the date created. So here we have our keywords. So the important thing is startup jobs, for example, it only has the global volume of 16 because in reality it's right here 16K. So you will need to clean it up. It's very easy to do, just add 3 zeros, obviously. And the really cool thing is that you can build a similar scraper template for any other SEO tool of your choice, but we love Ahrefs. And here's what we're going to do. I'm going to open Bardeen right here, and I'm going to customize this automation. So let's disable it and let's open it in Builder. That's where we build it in the first place. So, and I'm going to delete that Notion action, and instead I'm going to add a spreadsheet. So here we have a spreadsheet. I'm going to pick add rows to a Google Sheet command. And here I'm going to be asked every time I run this automation, which spreadsheet I want to edit to. It might be for different editors, different keyword clusters, you name it. So I want to specify the sheet, hit done, and then map the data from the scraper. So the table that comes from scraper will be added to here. You can also do a compose table and do other things like that. And the next thing I want to do is, because it's going to ask me for a spreadsheet every time, I'm going to remove that right click action, because that's not going to work. And I'm only going to have two actions: the scraper action that extracts the information and the Google Sheet action that adds the information to a sheet. Hit done, and here it is, it's saved right there. So I'm going to collapse the window and take a look at the spreadsheet that's in front of me. Here I have general with 81 keywords. And what I've noticed that at the bottom, we have actually 2 pages, whereas my scraper template wanted to do infinite scroll. It assumed that more list items would get loaded when you scroll down, which it didn't. It's super easy to customize. There's another video about how to customize it later. I'm going to hit Option B to open Bardeen, and here is our automation. I'm going to click on it, and we can add keywords to an existing spreadsheet. Here we have a list. You can just type the name of your spreadsheet, or you can create a new Google Sheet and call it Ahrefs demo. And then I'm going to hit return key, and it's going to extract the information from this page, create a new spreadsheet, and add the information to that spreadsheet. Here we have the spreadsheet. Let's hit view, and all of the information is nicely organized right there. If you're a marketer or an SEO, make sure to subscribe to this channel to learn more about the productivity hacks that can save you hours and hours of your time. Until then, cheers.